welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Wednesday, March 26th. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral. With me today is Bishop Robert Griffin, our executive minister and my husband, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, Minister of Connections, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall, Minister of Education. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about our progressive faith community and how you can be a part of it no matter where you live in the world. If you live in South Florida, be sure to check out the Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts, offering entertainment for the LGBTQ+ community to benefit the LGBTQ+ community. Leah Delaria will be performing her show Outrage March 28th, and Miss Richfield 1981 will be performing her show Phony Baloney on March 29th. Tickets are both available at sunshinecathedral.org. Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There's no streaming TV show like this in the entire world. In 2025, we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots Magazine, the 5th anniversary of Queer News Tonight, with nearly 10,000 stories and 10 million views in 2024. We'll produce the 25th anniversary of Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival on June 14th, Pride Fest Diversity Pride in August, and Pride Fort Lauderdale next February. Hotspots Happening Out is the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies. If you enjoy the Queer God Squad, please share this or other episodes with your friends, family, and social media communities.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral Perspective. Queer Christian social action, Sunshine Cathedral's commitment to liberation, community, and justice. User PillowFightrr asked on subreddit, UnitarianUniversalist on Reddit, and I'm quoting, "Are you doing most of your social justice work through your church or outside organizations? Does your church partner with your outside organizations?" End quote. At Sunshine Cathedral, we embrace Troy Perry's three-pronged gospel: liberation from degradation, loneliness, and despair, community, and social action. This vision emerged from the gay leadership of a queer religious movement and is universal in its scope. We want everyone to experience liberation and community and to participate in the work of social action or justice. At Sunshine Cathedral, we respond to needs that are caused by injustice, like hunger and housing insecurity, and the psychological damage caused by homophobic or transphobic rejection. We also respond to the systems and societal problems that create suffering, such as nationalism, racism, sexism and heterosexism, governmental autocracy, and its evil first cousin, theocracy. And while we do what we can as a faith community, we certainly partner with other organizations locally, nationally, and internationally. Queer God Squad, tell us more. Well, actually, we can tell you more because we do quite a lot of this. When I was reading this story and before we came in, I looked at the back of our worship program. We partner with 36 local organizations just to do some of the work that we do around here. That doesn't include a lot of the national, like the Global Justice Institute, International, other organizations. When we partner with organizations like this, we're better together. Plain and simple, we're just better together.
Yeah, we have our own programs. Our support of transitional housing for queer youth. That's collaborative. We about an equal fourth of that project. Actually half, because we are actually two organizations of ourselves, and then there's two others. Or actually, there's 5 in all, so we're 40%, and then there's 60 more percent. It's all collaborative, and and we couldn't do it otherwise. 40% isn't enough,
right?
Yeah.
But because of collaboration, you have 100%. And of course, we have this feeding program, 50,000 people a year fed, and so on. And then, of course, we campaigned for marriage equality. We defied a state constitutional amendment that prohibited marriage. So we had a mass wedding on the lawn. When it was legal, we then had a mass wedding on the beach. We did all-night weddings one night at the courthouse.
Yeah.
When it was new. So sometimes it's symbolic, sometimes it's engaging, sometimes it's resistance, sometimes it's just helping the people who've been mowed over.
Yes.
And sometimes it's us and sometimes it's us in partnership. We have to do it all. Now, sometimes people say, well, you know, just leave the government out of it. You guys are doing a lot, so just keep doing it. It's your responsibility. That is such horseshit. If the wealthiest of churches, and most aren't, you know, whenever you're talking about, oh, the church with all their money, you're talking about, you know, 12 mega churches in the Vatican. I mean, most churches struggle,
That's right.
which is why you see one close almost every week. Though they struggle, especially post-COVID, but, you know, it's rough. And so, but even the wealthy churches could not take care of all the need. And even if you're a wealthy church in this community, you may not even know about this other community that is in need.
Right.
No, the only one that can do. So it's not that we should do it, it's that we should help the government do it. The government's the only thing big enough and omnipresent enough, ubiquitous enough to help. Congress could pass a bill today that would end hunger and homelessness.
That's right.
They just could. Now, billionaires would have to pay more taxes. We might not, you know, have military bases in every country in the world. I mean, we'd have to make different priorities, but we could end hunger and homelessness in the United States today and still help some people in other parts of the world. And so, whereas churches can't do that.
No.
They just can't. We're going to do all that we can, and we're going to work with other people that we can, but we can't do it all. So yes, justice demands that we do all that we can, and justice demands that we also hold those who can do even more than we can accountable, which would be the U.S. government. It would also be business. Business can do more, but and other charities. But this is a collaborative effort, and until we say we all have a part to do and we all want to do our part, it's just not going to get done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, on my TikTok page, I posted recently about, and this will happen a few weeks, well, actually just last week, about the hurricanes that went through the southern part of the country. You know, there was an earthquake in Mississippi, there was tornadoes, a lot of devastation that happened. And so my question I posted was, well, now that FEMA no longer exists, as we once understood it, what are states going to do? And 2 states at that point had declared a national emergency. Well, 1 state was only able to release $250,000 in funds.
That's all they had in their fund.
That's all they had in their fund at the moment.
No names, Arkansas.
And so, and my state governor hadn't released any funds for anything at this point. And so, you know, and that was kind of my question on TikTok. And TikTok people just kind of took me to task. Well, why don't the church step up and take care of this? And my first comment was, you don't go to church and you don't give money to the church. Otherwise, you are not engaged in what churches do if that's your immediate response. And I'm sorry that whatever church you went to probably hurt you so bad that that's your response to this type of natural disaster. But come on, people. This stuff has left us in a place where we just have to be mindful that as we collaborate together, we will be stronger. We make it better. There's a lot of organizations that are closing right now. Yeah, there are. And there's a lot of places where social groups and churches and all these nonprofits are going to have to fill the gap. But we cannot fill it like it was once filled after this current administration has undone so much of the funding that was there to really be 95%. Of what people needed around housing, around hunger, around medication. It's just gone.
And the infrastructure that makes it possible just being collapsed intentionally.
And so it's, you know, as I look at this, like, wow, you know, the government is going to become a social, we need to respond to the government as a social justice renovation project and take this thing out and redo it all ourselves, because nothing is left, you know. And so when I think about this particular topic around partnership, justice, we got to come together and do it. Otherwise, we can't do it by ourselves.
That's right. That's right.
I tell you, I think it's funny that people will say to you, well, what's the church doing? When, as you said, they don't know what the inside of a church looks like.
Yeah.
That's fine. Now, if you are inside of the church, what are you hearing from the pulpit?
Right.
What are your pastors telling you? I can tell you what we're telling you here at Sunshine Cathedral. We practice what we preach. What we preach is social justice. What we preach is action. What we preach is that what's going on in America right now is not the way things should be.
Exactly.
So as we speak up, and Bishop Watkins constantly reminds people that to say that a church is not political is just not accurate.
That's right.
Jesus was one of the most radical politicians that ever lived, and we, Sunshine Cathedral, follow him. So that means that as we're speaking from the pulpit, we are speaking truth to power. And what we're saying to our congregation, what we're saying to the people in the pews and the people who are watching us online, that you have a responsibility to do something. That something that you do is up to you, what moves your heart. And when you hear it from the pulpit at Sunshine Cathedral, we hope that it gives you a little more energy, a little more cover to say, oh, wait a minute. I am truly now following my brother Jesus in doing something to counter what this government is doing. And this government is an oppressive theocracy in name and action.
Yeah. You know, when you see in the book of Revelation, and you see this beast, and you see this dragon, and you see this Antichrist, and you see these monsters, and blah, blah. That's not Dungeons and Dragons. That's not Game of Thrones. Those are metaphors for oppressive, tyrannical governments.
Yes.
And so all these people have been threatening the beast. The beast has shown up a few times. Sometimes that beast is called Hitler, and sometimes that beast is called Mussolini, and sometimes that beast is called Stalin, and sometimes that beast is called, well, that's today with the queer God.
Jesus loves you. Before we go, we want to invite you to join Sunshine Cathedral on a wonderful travel experience and help our mission for our community. Join us on the Florida AIDS Walk Pride Cruise. This unique 3-day cruise will sail from Miami on the $1 billion and ultra-deluxe 170,000-ton MSC Seascape on November 2nd, 2025. The cruise is for the Florida AIDS Walk. Your participation helps 13 vital beneficiaries in our community. The cruise is an incredible value starting at just $199 and is also a fundraiser for the Sunshine Cathedral. Parties, special events, and more aboard, including a special unlimited beverage and open bar with Wi-Fi for all 3 days for just $68. We invite you to join us on this amazing cruise for fun, this vital cruise for good.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that. We all are in this together.
And also remember that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.